Your dog failed the most famous self-awareness test ever invented, but the scientist who created the test now thinks dogs might have been right all along. Your dog knows your face before you've even turned around. It knows your smell, your footstep, your mood, probably better than your closest friends do. It knows when you're sad. It knows when you're about to leave. It definitely knows when you're holding food and pretending you're not. But here's the question nobody really asks, and once you hear it, you won't be able to stop thinking about it. Does your dog know what it is? Not what its name is, not what breed, but does it have any sense at all that it is a thing, a being, a self? Because here's the uncomfortable truth, we have no idea. And every time science gets close to an answer, it finds something that makes the question even bigger. For decades, scientists used one test to measure self-awareness in animals: the mirror test. Simple idea. Put an animal in front of a mirror, put a mark on its body it can't see. Does it use the mirror to investigate the mark? If yes, congratulations, you're self-aware. If no, sorry, you're just an animal. Dolphins passed, elephants passed, chimpanzees passed, magpies passed. Dogs failed, completely, humiliatingly, bored by the mirror. So scientists concluded dogs lack self-awareness. And then someone asked the obvious question that apparently took decades to occur to us. What if dogs just don't care about mirrors? Because your dog doesn't experience the world the way you do. You navigate life through what you see. Your dog navigates through what it smells. To a dog, a mirror is basically a flat, boring wall that doesn't smell like anything. So researchers tried something different. A scent mark instead of a visual one, placed somewhere on the dog's body it couldn't reach. And you know what the dogs did? They investigated it immediately, found it, checked it, the way you'd check something unfamiliar stuck to your own body. Self-aware? The test said no. The dog said, you were asking the wrong question. And if it knows what a dog is, does it know it is one? Researchers in Hungary showed dogs videos of other dogs, then videos of themselves. The dogs responded differently to each. Their own image on a screen triggered a reaction that was distinct from strangers, distinct from familiar dogs. Something else entirely, something that looks a lot like recognition, which raises a question nobody has cleanly answered yet. If your dog recognizes itself, what does it think it is? Here's where it gets interesting, because dogs know things that should, by any logical standard, require a sense of self. They know their own body size, precisely. Watch a dog navigate a gap between furniture. It doesn't crash through, doesn't hesitate uselessly. It calculates almost instantly whether it fits. That requires a mental model of your own body. That requires knowing you are a thing with a shape and a size. Dogs also know their own name, not just as a sound. They know it refers specifically to them. You can say 10 words in the same tone and the dog reacts only to its name. Here's the one that really gets me. Dogs can recognize other dogs across every breed, every size, every shape. A Chihuahua and a Great Dane look nothing alike. Humans with no dog experience genuinely struggle to believe they're the same species, but your dog knows instantly that both of them are dogs. There's also a concept called proprioception, your body's sense of where it is in space, where you end and the world begins. Dogs have this. But researchers argue it goes deeper than pure physical sensation. A dog that knows where its body ends must have some model, however primitive, of that body as a distinct entity. In philosophy, this is where most definitions of self-awareness actually start. Not the grand I think, therefore I am. Just the quiet, mechanical, I am here and the world is out there. By that definition, your dog clears the bar. Every time it walks through a doorway without bumping into it, it's demonstrating a form of self-knowledge. So where does this leave us? Your dog probably doesn't know the word dog. It almost certainly doesn't think, I am a Labrador, mostly because naming things is a human obsession, and dogs seem genuinely unbothered by it. It fails the mirror test. It doesn't write memoirs. It has never, to our knowledge, had an existential crisis. But it knows its body. It knows its name. It knows the difference between itself and a stranger. It knows you, not just your face, but your moods, your patterns, your smell. When you're anxious versus when you're happy. It tracks you, adjusts to you, responds to you, in ways that suggest it has built a detailed model of both you and itself in relation to you. That's not nothing. That's not just instinct. That is something. A philosopher once asked, what is it like to be a bat? Not the biology, the actual experience. What it feels like from the inside. We couldn't answer it. We still can't. The same question applies here. What is it like to be your dog? To experience the world as a creature who smells everything, hears everything, lives entirely in the present, and has somehow, without language, without mirrors, without a single philosophy class, figured out that it exists? We don't know. We probably can't know. But the fact that we can't answer the question That's not evidence there's nothing there. It might just mean we don't have the right test yet. There's a moment that happens with dogs, and maybe you've had it. You're sitting quietly, not doing anything special, and your dog just comes over, doesn't want food, doesn't want to walk, just sits next to you, sometimes puts its head on your lap, and stays there. No reason, no agenda. Scientists would call that attachment behavior, evolutionary bonding, a survival mechanism refined over thousands of years. But you know what it feels like? It feels like someone chose to be next to you, not because they had to, because something in them, whatever that something is, wanted to be where you were. Maybe your dog doesn't know it's a dog. Maybe it doesn't think about itself at all the way we do. But in that moment, it knows you're there, and it came anyway. That's enough.